Alrighty guys, welcome back to a live stream here. I hope you guys are all having a great and amazing day today. In today's kind of video here, in today's lesson, or really just today's video in general, we're going to be chatting kind of about some of the top stocks to keep an eye out, and really just kind of my overall opinion about some of them. If you guys have any questions about anything, just feel free to let me know, and we'll talk about it. I'm just getting everything kind of somewhat ready here, so we are good to go. All right, so we have a variety of stocks here on our watch list. I've sent some to the group chat, and if you guys didn't get those, just make sure you guys go to the trade on it, and it will be all my stocks kind of broken down. If you should go long, short, and just kind of my overall idea of them. So we have a variety of stocks here that I want to look at. How's it going, Kevin? We have obviously AMC, a huge one here that a lot of people love, a lot of people hate. So I want to just set this straight with this stock in general. So AMC carries short-term potential. Does it carry long-term potential? I mean, realistically, I think it's more of a higher risk, higher reward play. Looking at it, you can see the chart. It's a volatile, right? It goes up and down at some rapid rates. For me, I think it's one of these stocks where, yeah, it could hit $70 or $77, hit the highs again. But it also could see the $30 mark again. It could see 35. It could see 25. I just think there's a lot of risk involved with this one. And a lot of people love it, but a lot of people hate it, so I'm kind of right in this middle ground where I think if you put it right, there's good opportunities. All you really have to look for is these undervalued points on the RSI, and you can see anytime it comes in contact with it and falls below it, we have a tendency to see a lot of buying pressure after that. So you can see nice upward trend there, overvalued here, sold off. This was extremely volatile, but lately, looking at it here, overvalued on the RSI, sold off. So for me, I think that's one that could carry potential, but it's just more of a higher risk play. One that I love is Facebook, right? Facebook is a prime example of how to use sell-off and opportunity, to your advantage. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity here and not as much downside, right? Facebook has a beautiful upward trend, does have resistance here at, this 384 mark. But it has this nice tendency to use this yellow line as some support. So I think once we get a curl up to about this 345 mark, I think we'll get a breakout above it, and it's going to start using that as some support. Good strategy for this would be dollar cost averaging, just because, yeah, it could sell off a little bit more, but either way, you're buying on a massive discount, a massive sell-off. So swing trading, definitely there. Long-term investment, definitely there. Just a ton of opportunity with this one for sure. You guys want me to look at Palantir? Palantir is one that I've been buying now for quite a bit. My average cost is right at around $11.50. Let me clear all these so we can kind of start fresh here. So we can see if we actually go to the year, Palantir really had this huge buying pressure, sold off, and really hasn't done much, right? Does have resistance at about $30, anywhere from 29 to about 27. You can see it super clear from here if we just shorten this out. So it comes in contact, 29, sold off, comes underneath that 200 moving average line, that yellow line, and has that tendency to get buying pressure near and around there. Undervalued on the RSI, came in contact with more resistance, sold off back down to that 200 moving average line, curled up, broke out here. It had this tendency where it wanted to squeeze up, sold off, and then really just kind of sold off again. I think for this one, I know they secured a lot of contracts, for like $800 million with the U.S. Army. I think that's solid. That's a ton of revenue. The company, for me, is one of my favorites for like a 2 to 5 year outlook for sure. Definitely moved from 24 to this resistance at 27. Especially if you're swing trading this, you could set your stops below that 200 moving average line. So you could virtually risk, maybe like $2, so like 10% to possibly make over probably about 20. I think that would be a good risk and reward for sure. Not to mention just the long-term outlook this stock has is very, very nice in general. It's just a solid growth stock, right? Volatility is there for sure. So you have to understand that there's going to be some risk behind it, but what comes with risk is reward. And I think that's where a lot of people get a lot of, miscommunication just among stocks is they think they always go up. Especially these growth stocks, and it all depends on your outlook. For me, this one could literally fall to like $15, and all I would do is just buy because I'm just a believer of it, and my account is super diversified. So for me, I could invest 10% of my portfolio into Palantir. So what that means is for every 1,000, you virtually invest like $100 into the stock. So it's a good way to diversify your account and grow it too. But I'm a huge bull on Palantir. I think if you don't have some, pick up some. Try to get it near and around that 200 moving average line and just hold it. All right, moving on to the next one here you guys want me to look at is AVIR. AVIR, so we can see here, pharmaceutical company, resistance, we can just draw it out. Resistance at 94, support, it's hard to find some support, definitely down here at 18, big sell-off here. I wonder if it was around that earnings, but it did look like they had that spike in earnings. Major sell-off, so I'm not sure what's going on with the news with this one, but for me, it just by looking at the chart, I'm not sure about the fundamentals. A little bit more volatile, right? So we have this trend in general right now where this just wants to continue to sell off. But anytime you look at a sell-off, if the fundamentals make sense, you could be buying at some good prices. So for me, on the technical side, because I can't look at the fundamentals right now, I think there is opportunity if you're just looking at the technicals. If you can hop in from 40, it's just hard. You'd have to get that trend breakout. Yeah, for me, I would stay away from this just because we have this trend that's selling off. Maybe if we get a break out of like 47 or 50 where we start showing this upward trend, I understand we have this short